Hey everybody, today I've got a topic of symbols that I will be discussing. I've got a lot of requests to kind of see what my actual symbols look like because I guess people believe that some of my symbols may be magical because they never look dirty. The reason my symbols don't look dirty is because number one, usually I clean them. I clean them a lot, and I clean them in between sets, I clean them after sets, I clean them before I play. Um, Now I do it in different ways. I don't do the Zildjian polish every single time in between every time I play, but I'll kind of explain that a little bit more later. But for this part, I'm going to use this camera right here, and I am going to kind of give you an up close look of how some of the symbols look. Um, it kind of shows you that they do get stick marks, that they do get things like that. These symbols right now are the dirtiest that they have been in a long time. Actually, probably since I got them. I ran out of cymbal polish a week or two ago, and I decided instead of running to the store and grabbing some, that I would kind of take advantage of the opportunity to make this video for you that can show you that my symbols do get dirty, they're not magical, and that this is what they look like when they do get dirty. So I'm going to turn on this camera, and we're gonna take a look at a couple of the symbols. They all basically have the same kind of wear and like marks on them, so I won't show you them all, but some of the main ones. Now, the first one is this hi-hat here, and if you take a look, you will see that it just has a lot of stick marks around the outside. Stick marks are kind of a goldish yellow color, and since the hi-hat's one of the most played cymbals in my collection, then it's going to be one of the dirtiest. This china over here, same thing, just yellow marks around the outside, and same thing with the splash cymbal. Now, crash cymbal is also basically the same. I mean, they all basically have the same marks on them. Now, if you take a look over here, you'll see the ride cymbal, and if you look at the logo, you see that some of it is missing. Now, that's something I'll talk about when I discuss cleaning them, but the actual logos, they can come off if you clean them with the cleaning solution. And so I use Zildjian cleaning polish right here. You can get it in almost every music store. Any big music store should have it. It's very generic. Personally, I've tried a few other stuff, not on these cymbals, but in the past I've used other chemicals, and I believe this stuff works best. I mean, as you know, I'm a Zildjian guy. I love my Zildjian cymbals, and so I, of course, will love the Zildjian cleaning polish if it does its job, and it does. You still have to watch out for your logos, and those can come off, but I'll explain when I'm cleaning it how to kind of still clean it but avoid rubbing the logos off. Other than that, I think I will talk about everything else over there. I've got an overhead camera set up so that you can kind of see exactly what I do from above. All right, let's move over there. Alright, so now we are on to the cleaning portion. Now, before I actually show you how I clean the actual cymbal, I'd like to tell you a few kind of tips to live by. They're things that I have done to make sure that my cymbals stay as clean as possible, and so that when I do clean them, I don't have to clean as much, because really what keeps your cymbals looking as good as they can is staying on top of it and cleaning them as often as you can, but also making sure that they don't get dirty. And I know that kind of sounds like common sense, but there's a lot of things you can do to make sure that your cymbals don't get as dirty as they have been getting. Because I used to grab my cymbals and I'd grab them with my fingers, and when you touch a cymbal with your fingers, you leave a residue, whether it's from sweat or just normal oil coming from your skin. It leaves fingerprints, and those fingerprints they change the color of the cymbal, and they can also affect the tone of the cymbal because you get too much dirt on there and your cymbal changes sound. So the first thing is, if you ever get a fingerprint on the cymbal itself, as soon as you can, you want to wipe it off. Now, if you're grabbing your cymbals, choking the cymbals during a song, you're definitely going to get fingerprints, and you're going to get a lot of them because your hands are going to be sweaty. And so the truth is, I mean, you can leave it on there for as long as you need to. Like, you don't stop in the middle of a set and like, oh, hey, wait, let me clean off my cymbals. But at the end of the set, you want to wipe down your cymbals. Like, if I put that fingerprint right there, that thing's going to change colors in like 10, 15 minutes. It's going to be yellow oil on the cymbal. But if you just take a normal towel and wipe it down, is no problem. Also, whenever you do move the cymbal, you want to hold it from the outside like this. If you put one hand on each side and just hold it with the palm of your hand, it's not going to put any sort of fingerprints on there. You can also grab it like this, and that keeps it from getting fingerprints. You just want to be careful because you don't want to drop your cymbals, because that's a lot worse than getting fingerprints on it. But the last thing is that before and after you play, you just want to take a normal beach towel, any sort of towel you don't really care about, and you just want to wipe off the cymbal. It takes away all the excess grime, and it also gets rid of the dust, and so your cymbals look as good as they can every time you play them. Now, we're going to move on to the actual cleaning process. Now, for cleaning your cymbals, if you have the Zildjian polish, or actually any polish you want to use, personally, I love the Zildjian polish for my Zildjian cymbals, but you can use whatever polish works best for you. You want to take a towel, and you definitely want to use a towel you don't care about at all for this step, because it is a very dirty procedure. Now, once you take that towel, you're going to get your cleaning polish, and you're going to put some on the end of the towel. Take one corner and put a good amount on there, especially if you haven't cleaned your cymbals in a long time. You just kind of want to rub it in a little bit, and then you just kind of do circular motions across the entire cymbal. One thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you set your cymbal on like a maybe a black rug or any sort of not carpet that you care about, because this residue will get along the outside and it will leave black rings. And so when you clean the cymbal, you actually will see black stuff appear, and that's good, because that's the dirt and the grime coming off of the actual cymbal. And so you just want to kind of rub it in all over, but one thing you want to do is stay away from the logos. Do not rub with any sort of aggression on the logos. You want to save those for last. So try and get as close to them as you can, but not on top of them. I'm just kind of going around the whole outside here, getting everything. The outside of your cymbal is going to be what's dirtiest, unless you put fingerprints on the middle of your cymbal, because that's where you hit it. And so you want a nice motions all around the cymbal. Now, for the logos, they do get dirty, and you do want to clean them because you want your whole cymbal to look good, and there's stuff in between the logos that are also need to be cleaned. And so what I do is I lightly just take my hand, go over the top of the cymbal, and put some of the product over the logos. Very slowly, very softly, and that keeps it from the friction from taking the logos off. All right, now the last step to actually cleaning the cymbal, once you've got the entire thing coated and you can't really see the actual shine of the cymbal anymore, it all looks really dirty and grimy, then you've got the polish all over it. So you want to take an opposite side of your towel, and you want to take that and you want to start scrubbing it off. Immediately, you're going to see all the shine come back to the cymbals. As long as your cymbals aren't too dirty, you may need a couple of coats if your cymbals haven't been cleaned ever and are very dirty. Actually, I haven't even tried it on cymbals that haven't been cleaned in like 3 or 4 years, so I'm not sure how much you can get off, but you can definitely make them cleaner. And so you start doing that, and you'll see everything come back. Immediately, every single stick mark that I had on there earlier, all of that's gone. No more fingerprints. My cymbals look basically brand new on this part right here. So then you want to do the same thing over the logos, but not too hard. A little bit softer over the logos so that you don't take anything off. And then once you finish with the whole cymbal, carefully over the logos again, you're going to want to repeat the process on the back. And so you repeat the process on the back. You carefully flip it over without touching it, and do the same thing on the bottom of the cymbal. All the same steps apply. You want to wipe it down with the polish, and then you want to clean the polish off, and you want to be careful with the logos. But once you do the bottom, if you flipped it over, some of the stuff may have gotten back on the top side. So you want to flip it over one more time and take that dry section of the towel that you're using to wipe the polish off, and you want to take that and just rub down the clean side of the cymbal one more time. And so at that point, you can pick it back up and set it back up on your kit. One last tip for moving the cymbals. When I do clean them, I actually use a towel just to pick the cymbal up, and that way I can move it without actually touching the cymbal with my fingers, and I don't have to do that whole edge thing that I was telling you about earlier. So I believe that's about it. Just try and keep your cymbals as clean as you can when you're playing them and when you're not playing them, and then try and clean them as often as possible. This stuff right here, $9.99. It's not much money. It's a good sized bottle, and I used mine for a couple of months, cleaning it like at least once a week, basically. So it lasts pretty long if you don't use too much of it, and it's really I mean, if you put the money in your cymbals, you want them to look good, you want them to sound good. So I definitely recommend cleaning them as often as possible. All right, well, if you have any questions, I don't know what camera I'm looking at here. I'm not sure if any of them actually capture my face or not, so you may be looking at a cymbal that's talking to you. But if you have any questions, you're welcome to put them down below, and I will try and answer as many as I can. Besides that, let me know if you have any more kind of videos like this that you want to have, and I will try and get those out as soon as I can. Hopefully this helps you clean your cymbals, and let me know if you've got your cymbals all nice and pretty and want to send me a picture, then I'll take a look at them, let you know what I think. All right, well, hope this helps. See you later.